I don't think the Mets want to risk going into the deadline and saying, oh, great, we have to send a top 10 prospect to get relief help. And yeah, they did a pretty good job last year of not doing that, but they didn't get a slam the door every
No.
outing kind of guy. They went cheap volume where, Maton had his moments until the postseason. Stanek had his moments in the postseason. So getting a high leverage arm, Joe, feels pretty important on the checklist right now.
I think, Connor, this is other than, figuring out the first base, third base situation. I think this is the biggest need that the Mets have left. They need somebody to stabilize the back end of that bullpen, somebody to, whether that's interchanging with Edwin Diaz or just being the eighth inning guy to Edwin Diaz. And look, I think the league, and I said this on last week's show, I think the league has somewhat smartened up when it comes to these reliever contracts. You might be able to get Tanner Scott for 3 years instead of the 4 or 5 years that he might have gotten a couple years ago. You might be able to get Carlos Estevez for 2 years. You might be able to get Jeff Hoffman for 3. Guys like David Robertson, Kirby Yates are older pitchers, so they qualify as 1-year options. I think it is imperative that David Stearns and the Mets come out of this offseason with that minimum one reliever that you could count on to be the bridge to Edwin Diaz. Ideally, it's 2 to 3, but if the Mets can get someone like Tanner Scott, that is a true impact reliever.